What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois teams up with Shane Mcguigan as he splits with trainer Mark Tibbs without him being in the corner for one single fight, just months after appointing him. Wow. Daniel Dubois, of course, is now under Shane Mcguigan. The heavyweight only appointed Tibbs as his new trainer back in February. Respected trainer Tibbs told Dubois team that he has other commitments. Okay. Dubois has 4 weeks to work with Mcguigan before his comeback fight. Daniel Dubois has split with trainer Mark Tibbs and is now working, of course, with Mcguigan. The heavyweight contender only appointed Tibbs as his head trainer back in February and was yet to have a single fight under his tutelage. Wow. I think, and at first when I heard this, I was thinking like, okay, well, why did Dubois skip out on Tibbs? But it's actually Tibbs that skipped out on Daniel Dubois. And if this has become a trend with Mark Tibbs lately, because as you guys can remember, he was supposed to train Dillian White last year when he got his surprise upset loss to Alexander Povetkin, because he was in Portugal and and the distance was the problem. So he had other things to do, which was understandable. But now, Mark Tibbs, who was in Billy Joe's corner for this fight with Canelo, was appointed as the new trainer of Daniel Dubois. And now he's split with the heavyweight, saying he has other obligations. Okay, so reading further, the split is understood to have come about after Tibbs informed Dubois that he has other commitments. Dubois, who is bidding to get his career back on track after having surgery on a broken eye socket from the stoppage defeat of Joe Joyce, has wasted no time finding a successor and has teamed up with well-respected Mcguigan. The 23-year-old will have just 4 weeks in preparation. So, I think that's rather unprofessional because it doesn't show why he split. Let's see. It doesn't show here the other commitments. What other commitments? Did something come up? Was something more important than what he already agreed to? But it seems like another thing of bad scheduling, But who can suffer in this situation? Daniel Dubois. Okay, if you get accustomed to certain guys, I don't know how long he worked with Mark Tibbs, but then he has to scurry up and get with Shane and then see what Shane can do with him. Okay, so it's difficult getting 2 or 3 trainers. Having different trainers is just as bad as having different opponents. Ask Anthony Joshua about that. Okay, so this could be a distraction for Daniel Dubois, because Daniel Dubois needs total reconstruction. He needs to learn head movement. He needs to learn defense as well as offense, because what we learned in the Joe Joyce fight, he lacked defense. He lacked head movement. The robotic, statuesque build and tone of this guy showed and shined through and through, coming from someone just as slow as him, which had a great timing jab from Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce showed Daniel Dubois how to use a jab, and he showed him that he had no head movement, no counter punching, no pull counter, no catch and shoot, no anything. He just threw bombs in certain spots of the fight. Some were effective, some weren't. But of course, he didn't know he was fighting a fucking juggernaut. Okay, so it's tough on him, and it's either tougher because now in 4 weeks he has to get his stuff together. The only good thing is that he's fighting someone that's a tune-up. That's the saving grace. So at least he can get acclimated to a new trainer. But it doesn't look good on Mark Tibbs, because Mark Tibbs has done this thing before. Oh, I have other obligations, or I can't do this, or the scheduling's off. I think he needs a better assistant, to show or to know where he's going to be to help or to be there for a particular fighter. But is it really a big deal? No. Okay, had it be a high-level opposition, yeah, it would be. But since that this is a comeback fight for Dubois, he should spark the guy out in 1 or 2 rounds. So, you know, I hope that he can learn as much as he can with his new trainer. More importantly, gel and communicate with the trainer. The trainer and fighter relationship, they have to be on point. Okay, you can't have 2 people that don't understand each other. Okay, Shane has to relay what he needs and expects from Daniel Dubois, for Daniel Dubois to know what to do for Shane Mcguigan. Okay, so I think at the end of the day, I'm glad that he was able to get a trainer and he can continue. 4 weeks is a decent amount of time with a guy. You know what I mean? But the only thing that worries me is what's the overall goals for Shane? Because, see, in this point, you have to do more than win. You have to show that you've improved from your last fight, because you haven't. You'll get back in there with somebody that knows how to jab and will break your other fucking eye. Okay, so we have to worry about those, and he has to be concerned mostly about that. But getting someone consistent in his corner that's going to take over fully, that's most important. Okay, so it's not a good look for Mark Tibbs, and it's definitely not good for Daniel Dubois. But I hope Shane Mcguigan will be a great replacement. You guys tell me what you think of Mark Tibbs X'd out and Shane Mcguigan entering the job. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.